Okay, you're going to receive your full service kit in the mail. You receive it, remove your valve from the engine, take a 3/4 inch wrench on the back to hold the spindle, and one on the top. Remove the lock nut. And the flat washer. Disregard the lock nut. Remove the flat washer from the cover. Remove the 2 3/8/16 nuts. On the older models there will be 3. One in the back of the cover. After removing the lock nuts, the nuts in the washers, discard them as you will not use them. Now remove the 4 remaining 3/8 nuts. After removing the nuts from the valve, dispose of the nuts as you will no longer use them, then remove the valve from the door. Now you're ready to service your valve. Okay, next step is remove the valve from the door. Check the inside surface mounting surface of the door, as the older ones will have Permatex on them. Make sure it's a clean surface, no Permatex left on there. Remove the paper gasket from the door. Clean the Permatex off the carrier. Make sure it's perfectly clean. Next step is to disassemble the valve for repair. Make sure you replace a 3/4 inch wrench on the bottom of the valve to hold the spindle. One on the top, 1/2-13 nut. Okay, when you get towards the top of the spindle, you press the spring with your hand, take out the 1/2-13 nut, set it aside. Remove the spring cap, and the retainers. Next, remove the old seals. Then remove your 6-inch valve plate and toss it out. Go. Once you remove your valve plate, go to your service kit that you received. Check out your valve seat for any damage or anything. Slide your new valve plate over top of the spindle and slide down to the seat. Next, take your big spindle O-ring, lightly lubricate it with some grease, put a little on the spindle, slide the big spindle O-ring down to the valve plate. Do the same with the little O-ring. Now take your seal retainer, slide it over top of the spindle seals, take your spring cap, slide over top of it. Next, press your spring with your hand, start your 1/2-13 nut. Okay, now that you got your nut onto your spindle and everything, go to your literature to see which spindle that you have. In this case, we have a 9.5 inch spindle, so you want to tighten your nut down to 2 1/4 inches in order to get the proper pressure for the spring. Once again, make sure you're holding the back of the spindle with the other 3/4 inch wrench. In this case, tighten your nut down all the way until you get 2 1/4 inches from the top of the spindle to the top of the nut. That will give you a correct setting for the pressure on the spring. Okay, now that you've gone that far, take your new gasket you received in your packet there, place it over the studs of the valve, take your valve, slide it into the back side of the door, okay, after putting the valve into the door, take 4 of the 3/8/16 lock nuts, finger tight down as far as you can go. Leaving these 2 bolts with no nuts on them for the cover for later. Okay, just want you to note when you're servicing your valve that the opening of your valve cover always goes towards the bottom of the door so that it will blow out this way. You can tell this by your pattern. On the back of these doors there's roll pins usually that goes to the top. The steel doors, 90% of them have handles on your top, or if they don't have handles, you can notice the weld. The weld should start and stop at the top of the door. That's why you want to make sure your valves are located so that your cover opening is towards the bottom. Once doing so, take your torque wrench, set it for 13 foot-pounds. Once getting nuts down close to the door, go back and torque them in the sequence specified in your literature, 13 foot-pounds. Go back and double check in the same sequence. Ready to replace your cover over top of your valve. In the center hole, and lining up the 2 clips onto your 3/8 bolts. Next, take your 3/8 lock nuts. Finger tight. And tighten the 13 foot-pounds. Okay, your next and final step is slide your 1/2 inch flat washer over top of the spindle to the cover. Take your 1/2 lock nut for the cover. Make sure you take a 3/4 inch wrench. Hold the back of the spindle again so it won't turn. Then tighten your lock nut. Down until it's flush with the cover. Make sure you do not over tighten. You do not want to bend the cover.